Guys, how pumped up are you? This is day 17. I cannot even believe it. That means what? It's 18, 19, 20, 4 days. I'm not great with math. 4 days left. This is crazy. And even if you haven't manifested what you want yet, you are on the path. And everything you're learning each day is really going to set you up to manifest, and it's going to come your way. You have to believe, you have to have faith. You know that, right? So, I want to talk to you about comparing. I want you to think of the last time you were scrolling through social media or whatever it is that you do to think about or see other people, right? Let's just think about scrolling through social media and you saw someone that made you feel a little bit jealous, and be honest with yourself because no one wants to admit when they feel jealous, right? Obviously. Maybe it made you feel like, oh my gosh, they're where they are. I wish I had what they have. Really, that's what it comes down to. Whatever we call it, right? But when we're doing that, we're comparing ourselves, right? Remember that there's two primary emotions that all our other emotions come from: love and fear, right? So when we're comparing ourselves to others, obviously we're not in love, the love aspect of it. We're focusing on the fear. And when we're in that fear, we are not at the vibrational level to attract things to us. In fact, what we're doing is we're pushing things away from us, pushing positive things away from us. So instead of being really hard on ourselves and saying, I shouldn't be comparing, why am I doing this? Let's just get curious. It's okay, right? So when someone comes in our path, there's a reason for it, right? So I want you to get back to that example of you were scrolling through social media. There's a person that came across your feed, and for whatever reason, it brought up something for you. Whether it's that they're further along in their career than you are, in their business, in their relationships, in what they have, in their money. They have more money than you, and they look like they have it all. Number one, nothing is what it seems on social media. So that's not even real. So that's another situation, right? But we won't go there today. Number two, I want you to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. When I came across this person, how did it feel? So what was really the feeling? What did it feel like in your body? What were the emotions you were feeling? A lot of times it is a bit of jealousy, right? And what did you say to yourself? Did you say, I wish I had that? Or did you say, why can't I get the breaks that they got? Or, wow, they have, so many followers, or they seem like they're making all this money. Why aren't I there? Or whatever it is, right? So just kind of think about what you said. And then how long did it stay with you? How long did that feeling stay with you? How long were you thinking about it? Was it just that night? Was it to the next day? The reason I want you to think about this is I want you to become aware of how comparing yourself puts you in that state of fear and actually retracts the things we want to come in our lives to come in our lives. But like I said, I don't want you to say, well, why am I doing this? And I'm being so hard on myself, right? So what I want you to do instead is get curious about why it's happening. I'm going to give you an example, as I always do in my life. A couple months ago, I was on social media. I actually met with somebody that is really great at what she does. She's an amazing coach. She has built a outstanding business. She has over 100,000 followers on her Instagram, and she has connections with a lot of big name people that do what we do. And if I'm really being honest with myself, and if I was being honest with myself at that moment, I didn't know her well. So I was happy for her, but at the same time, I felt jealous. I felt like, why aren't I where she is? Why aren't, maybe I should start doing what she's doing. And I started to get into that feeling of, I'm not doing it right. She's doing it right. And so this brings us back to yesterday of not feeling worthy. That little piece of me that doesn't feel good enough, which comes up every once in a while, was coming up. And by comparing myself, I was expanding that piece of me. But and so it did stay with me overnight. And then I had to call my friends who helped me kind of get perspective on it. And what I realized was this, and this is kind of the reason I share these with you, is because, as you know, I teach people how to overcome some of these issues. But what I've learned in life is the best coaches are good at what they do because they've experienced what you're experiencing and they know how to overcome it. There's no coach on earth, there's no person that helps other people on earth who's perfect, who doesn't go through some of the same things that you do. The question is, how do they handle it when it comes up? Because we're still human and no human is perfect. And there's going to be moments in time where we're all feeling that fear or triggered by something. How do we switch it in the moment to get out of it? Right. So, what I came to realize at that moment, and what I want to help you to do is this person came into your life for a reason and they are here to teach you something. You are on your own unique path, and there is something to learn here. So instead of getting into that fear, comparison, jealousy, whatever that word is, envy, I wish I was where they are. Maybe you're not envious outwardly, but you feel like you're comparing yourself, like they're good and I'm bad. And when you're comparing, feeling like, why aren't I where they are? You're in that fear. So if you can switch that, turn it around to love, and then how can I learn? That's going to make you feel much better. So when I was in that emotional state of comparing, why aren't really what I was saying is, why aren't I where they are? Why aren't I good enough? That's kind of like a deeper issue that I wasn't really being aware of. So we have to stop being so hard on ourselves and understand that we are on our own unique path, and this path is meant to be the way it is for a reason. So a lot of times, because I'm in my 50s now, I say, why couldn't I have, like this person was in their 30s, right? Why couldn't I have found this self-development in my 30s? But I'm on my own unique path for a reason. I was meant to learn the things that I was meant to learn. They're on their path. And I am meant to speak to certain people, not the people they speak to. So it's important for me to stay on my path, know who I'm supposed to help, and be of service. So the best way to get out of comparison is to do two things. Well, actually, three. What can I learn from this? Really understand what can I learn from this. Number two is focus on what you are doing, what you can control. What is my path? What am I meant to do? And number three is to serve others. When I'm focusing on what I'm not getting or what I'm doing wrong or why can't I have this or why are they better, then I'm focusing on lack, right? Lack of what I don't have. When I focus on how can I serve, how can I be better for the people that I am here for, I am very passionate about helping people who have gone through what I went through. People who look like they have it all on the outside. They have big dreams and goals, but they don't know where to start because there's something holding them back, something blocking them. And because of that, they feel like there's this uneasiness in their life. And they feel like, yes, on the outside, I have it all, but there's something that's not quite right. So instead of me focusing on what someone else is doing, I have to stay on my path to help the people that I really want to help and that I know that I was put on this earth to help. So we're all going to get caught up in comparing from time to time. What we need to do is, what am I learning from this? I'm on my own path, right? Just reminding yourself of that, focusing on what you can control, not trying to be someone else, and focusing on why I'm here to serve. So those are the three ways to stop comparing yourself. Remember, that when you're doing that, you're in fear, and instead we're going to get into love. So that will help you to get to the state that you need to be, that high vibration, to attract more money to you and to get to your money goal. All right, so I will talk to you tomorrow. I hope that helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. There are people who need to hear what we're talking about here. I appreciate you, and I am so excited to be doing this with you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.